Hey guys, wInevitable here with a little tutorial for Sky Temple. Brand new map put in with the beta. That's right, it's beta boys, so if you haven't opted in, go opt in now. And there's also a founders pack out for anyone that wants to. You can buy 3 heroes, Tyrande, Diablo, and Raynor. And as well as 1 skin for each hero, and the Golden Cyberwolf mount, and 2,500 gold, in-game gold, all for I think $40 or 35 euros. So it's one way to get into the beta. If you don't have a key, there's also a lot of giveaways going on. Check out the Reddit r/Heroes of the Storm to get info. There's a lot of giveaways going on. PC Gamer had like 1,000 keys. Calidor is giving away keys. The Reddit itself is giving away keys. There's lots of giveaways. If you're not in, go check out reddit.com/r/Heroes of the Storm. Get into the action. Anyways, this new map, Sky Temple, is out with the beta. It's awesome. The artwork is so well done. Like, it's amazing. We'll take you in just a second. We're going to do a quick video. One video here, probably about 20 minutes. Looking at the top-down perspective here, this is the Battle.net page. You can go to battle.net and look at the maps. All of the maps have a page like this if you just want to glance at it. If you're not, say, in the beta yet, you can look at the layout and get a feel for it. And then we're going to jump into a custom game real quick with some AI just to show off how the map actually works in play and show off the beautiful artwork, because this is an amazing map. And of course there's more coming. There's a Tomb of the Spider Queen, looks really cool, and a Diablo themed Heaven and Hell map where half the map's heaven and half is hell. Lots of cool maps, and that's the great thing about Heroes, is there's multiple maps to play on. And this one is really, really well done. It's a mix kind of between Dragonshire and Blackheart's Bay, for anyone familiar with those maps. There are shrines on the map. You can see you have to capture these temples. They're called temples, not shrines. And they'll periodically awaken. We'll talk about that later, the schedule for them. And when they awaken, you have to hold them. You have to stand in the area. You can see one right here. That's like a temple. You have to stand in the gold-trimmed area in here, like on the triangle, for example, and then you hold it, and it takes time to fire shots towards the enemy's base, knocking down their towers, their forts, their gates, their wells. So it's a little bit like Dragonshire, because you have to hold these fixed locations on the map, but then it's like Blackheart's, because the objective shoots at the buildings for you. You don't have to channel a Dragon Knight and then use it on your own. It's more like the cannonballs firing from Blackheart's ship. Really cool map. And of course, when you're defending the temples, there's some little guardians that get in there, and that's what defend the temples. It's a little bit of PvE mixed in with the PvP. And so let's go ahead and zoom out here first. It's a large map. I believe top to bottom, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, distances from the top to the bottom. A 3-lane map as well. You can see this is the bottom lane, and then there's a mid lane here below what the middle shrine. There's a watchtower right here, which covers like an arc like this. And then there's the top lane with the top shrine up here. And so there's 3 shrines, 3 lanes. It's a large distance between the lanes here. And you've got 5 camps as well. These are the hard camps up top, in the top left and top right. The easy camps, the siege giants, are on the bottom left and bottom right. And then you have a boss here. And cool thing about the map with the custom artwork is all of the camps they look different. They serve the same purposes basically as other camps you're familiar with, but they'll actually they're reskinned. So you can see the boss here is this giant beetle that slams the ground, and he launches tornadoes instead of rooting you. Pretty cool. We're going to show them off in game, and there's a lot of cubby holes to hide in. You've got like the grass you can hide in here. Lots of room to maneuver. Very open and free form map. And there's all these different ways to sneak around. If you're like Zeratul or a Nova, there's plenty of places to go. If you're Arthas Kerrigan, lots of places to set up some ambushes. And you can see just from looking at this how good the artwork looks. But I don't want to look at that too much without getting into game, because it looks better in game, of course. Now, the other thing to talk about are the shrines, and they activate in a certain order, and we're going to show this off in game. There's a little bit of RNG, but to start out, it's a set pattern every time you play the map. And at 1:30, you'll get a 15-second warning at 1:15. But at 1:30, the first set of shrines activate, and it's going to be the top and middle shrines that are going to activate. So this one and this one are going to go first at 1:30. Then you have to activate them. You have to stand on them, fight the statues, the the minions, the mercs, the guardians, the temple guardians that are there defending it, as well as defend it from the other team. And while you're holding it, while it's activated, it has a set amount of ammo, and it will start shooting towards the enemy's base. It takes about, from start to finish, is about 45 seconds for a shrine to fire. And then that's, of course, if you're on it consistently and you stay on the whole time. If you step off, it will stop firing. The other team can come in and contest. If you're both teams are on the shrine at once, it'll wait to see who wins, you know, who kind of like can hold out the longest, King of the Hill style, on the shrine. And then after both shrines have finished firing their ammo, you can, of course, have both firing at once. You don't have to go one to the other. You can. That's the part of the fun of the map, is you can hold multiple shrines at one time, and you'll have to in some cases. After they've finished firing, you have a 2-minute window until the next set of shrines is activated. And of course, you'll get that 15-second warning as well. So it's like 1:45, and then you get a warning, then they activate. And the second set of shrines is actually just the bottom shrine. And these two sets, it's always going to be in that order. The first one is top and middle, and then the second round is bottom. That's consistent, and that is fixed right now, at least as of this current patch. So you can know that. You can plan some strategies around that. We'll look at some replays in the future of some high-level games to talk about what the teams are doing and how they're approaching this map and playing it out. Then you add a little bit of RNG to the mix. The third round is still, it's the same timing of the 2-minute window, until it activates in between shrines, just like, say, the Haunted Mines Golem. And then what happens is it's going to always be the bottom shrine in the third round, but then it's a 50% chance between it being top and middle. You'll get 2 shrines, and you'll get either bottom and middle or bottom and top, and it's randomized between those, so it's a 50% chance, and you kind of have to plan accordingly to that. From then on, the 4th round on to the end of the game, you don't usually see more than 4 or 5 rounds. Sometimes you might see a 6th, I guess. I don't know how many it's possible to have. I haven't figured that out yet, because these shrines do destroy fortifications. So if you had a mule on both teams, you could prolong the game quite a bit. But from the 4th round on, it's random. It could be 3 shrines, it could be 2, it could be 1, and it could be any of them. And you won't know ahead of time which one it's going to be. And there's also a cool thing right now. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not, but I believe between the 3rd and the 4th rounds, instead of 2 minutes, it ends up being 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I have to double check this, but it's a 30-second warning, basically. Once the RNG fully kicks in and it's completely random, you get a 30-second warning instead of a 15-second warning. And then it's either, I think the 4th round, you actually get, there's actually an extra 15 seconds tucked in there. Just, if you want to be really nitpicky about it. So that's this. Let's go ahead and jump. I've got the game set up here. So many windows open. So we're in the lobby. I'm going to close this window here and jump into the game. So you can see I'm running Thrall. I'm about to do a video on Thrall. He's got some cool builds. He's the new champion put in with the beta. Really awesome. Try him out if you haven't in the shop. Go ahead, try him out. Really cool. This is the special skin for him. And so what we're going to do, we'll talk about him in that video, though. We don't want to talk about him now. We're going to go ahead and jump in. We've just got some AI. We're on Sky Temple. We're not going to do anything crazy, You're just showing off the map, and the artwork is really cool. So another thing to note, as we load into the game, your first time playing on this map, there is a video that pops up, an intro video. You can skip the video. The thing is, if you play it in a ladder match, quick match, Hero League, it will actually delay you. It takes so long that the match will have started by the time you finish the video. So it's highly advisable, if you want to watch the video and get a feel for the map, jump into a custom game like this. Your first time through, you'll actually watch the video. It's pretty cool. Now, you don't want to be late to an actual game, so you might want to do that on your own time.
Ladies, keep firing till there ain't nothing left.
And this is Sky Temple. You can see it's a traditional setup for a 3-lane map. Really, really cool animation there with the core. The keeps do a similar little, animation right there. You've got the cobra. I guess that's a cobra. Pretty cool. I don't know my snakes, but I'm gonna guess that's a cobra. Really, really cool. You can see the lane. The artwork is amazing. The camps start at 2 minutes. We'll show those off. And of course, we didn't talk about it too much, but there is a watchtower here. We'll go ahead and cap that. You can see the sight radius. Comes into about the middle of the screen here. A really, really important part of the map. A lot of teams will fight over this again and again. You can see it gives you great vision. And there's a lot of alleyways with all of these little grassy areas that you can hide. And so it's, a little dangerous to be out in the middle of nowhere. We're going to lane for a little bit. It's another minute until the shrines activate. But we'll show it off. And of course, you've got 3 temples. They have these icons in the bottom right. Try not to die to the bot Gazlo here. You've got the Crocodile Temple, the top of the map, the north side of the map, the Snake Temple, and then Jackal. So Snake's in the middle. And then... oh, that's the wrong button. Alright, so they go in that order, and they'll actually light up when they're activated. I'm getting my butt kicked right here by the by the enemy of the AA bots. Hey, it's 3v2. We should probably win this lane, right? Alright, we get a kill on Tychus. So, it's a minute and 5 seconds. In about 10 seconds, we're going to get that warning. And it's going to show you it's going to be top and middle. Remember, the order is fixed here in the opening. It's a really nice feature, I think. It could be imbalanced otherwise, so it's nice to have them not completely random when the game starts. And you can see the Crocodile and Snake Temples both activated. You've got a countdown down here, and they also highlight on the mini-map, so you can tell which ones activate. We're going to stand here, and we'll actually watch. It's up, and you can see the little animation, the artwork. The circle lights up, and when I walk in, the fire kind of rises up. Then it turns blue because I'm on the blue team. If I was red, it would turn red. The little hieroglyphics activate, and then the boss, the mini boss, kind of jumps out here, and he does a little booting animation and kind of knocks you back. I think Tychus is going to be a problem. You can see how this gets a little bit troublesome. I'm going to kill Tychus real quick because of the you have to fight 2 guys at once. It's not, and early in the game, these guys are a little bit stronger than they are late game, so this can be very troublesome. And meanwhile, you see, we're actually losing top shrine to somebody capped that. Oh, and the other thing, too, we want to show off here is the ammo counter up here. You can see, well, one, you can see that I'm having a little trouble holding this on my own, unfortunately. We have a Tacitar bot on the easy camp. Not sure why. But I'm going to come in here and miss my skill shot, and then focus down the Gazlo, and he's tanking my damage and the damage from the minions, so he has to back off. There's actually an ammo counter up here, and there are 2 separate ammo counters. I think I'm gonna die to this. Yeah, I'm gonna die. If Tychus just throws a grenade, it's gonna kill me. Yep. Alright, so you can see the ammo counter, there's 2 shots left, and what will happen is this is the regular ammunition, and then at the end, when there's just 5 shots left, whoever controls the shrine at the end will then trigger these 5 shots, and it'll fire off like that in quick succession. And you can see the damage being done was quite substantial. We didn't have the entire duration of the shrine on our side, but it did get down 2 towers. It got down 3 towers, almost killed the fountain, and it did damage to the fort. Do some damage to Tychus, and so you have to figure it's 2 more minutes. There we go. Had to run in there for that kill. I'm getting body blocked. Alright. So, you figure just after 5 minutes, the next set of shrines is going to activate, and in this case, it's going to be the bottom shrine, the Jackal Temple. So let's go ahead and push in here. And the thing to think about now is the camps are up. They have activated. You can see we've actually capped our siege giants, and they're pushing. Pretty cool artwork here. This is what the siege giants look on this map, and then of course the minions are different as well. So we're gonna get that to about half health and back up. And if you run up here, we can show you what the bruisers look like. So I've got about a minute till the next set of shrines. Don't have that much experience with Thrall just yet, so I don't think I'm gonna be able to cap this. But I've got a Nazebo coming over to help me. And you can see these guys are a little bit different. It's still the same bruiser camp that you're used to fighting, just with a different skin on top. And so we've got about 30 seconds, a little bit less probably. I didn't catch the exact time when the shrine stopped firing, but we're going to come down here and get mid fort. It's actually out of ammo, so I can just sit here and tank. I can just sit here and attack it. And then we'll go check out the boss. And there you go, you can see it's going to be... Uh-oh. I might have to pay for that one with my life. Root him and get out. Okay. So, the shrine's going to activate. We're going to go ahead and take our heroic and run down here. You can see Hammer's going in first. It's just 1 shrine this time. Makes it a lot easier. Now after this, the 3rd round is a 50% chance between top and bottom or middle and bottom. And then you have completely RNG random aspect after that, on the 4th round forward. And you can see it's pretty easy when there's 2 of us here. There's nobody contesting it on the enemy team. We're at level 10 already, so it's pretty easy to hold it now. The minions aren't that troublesome. It's more early game, and when you're kind of juggling the minions and enemy heroes, that it can be bothersome to hold the shrines. And you have to be very strategic about how you position yourself and use your team resources to hold these, because you can see right now, and they're pushing top lane here, and they actually get a fort. And so at this point, we've got this. I'm going to back off. You can see it's firing, and that raises a good point. We have bottom fort down, but it didn't continue to fire bottom lane. It did not go to the keep next. It'll actually, the shrines, the temples rather, I keep calling them shrines, the temples will take down the tier 1 fortifications first and then move on to the tier 2, from the forts to the keeps. So the next set of temples for us will fire up here at this set of structures until they're down, and then it'll start on the tier 1s. So it's not going to just, it's not like the bottom temple's going to shoot at the bottom forts and the middle temple's going to shoot at the middle forts. It's going to work through tier 1s first and then the tier 2s. And we'll run past the boss to show off the boss. I don't know, pre-13 it might be a little too early to take him, but you can see he's pretty cool looking. We'll activate him. And then there's the slam, kind of, a little bit different. I think, yeah, with the shield here with Tasser, we might actually be able to do this. Thorell's a tough dude. Uh-oh. You gotta pay attention, though. So, you have to get ready for the next set of shrines. It's going to activate pretty soon, but we're actually timing this out really well. One thing to note about the boss is that it's in a very vulnerable spot. You're right in between middle and top and bottom lane. And there's the tornado I was talking about. It's kind of RNG. It just kind of CCs you a little bit. You have to be very careful taking the boss on this map because it's so exposed. It's not like Blackhearts where you're in a very safe. You can kind of get the watchtower and you can see if the enemy team's coming. Here, you're very susceptible to a gank, especially early in the game. The team could come through here or here and just be on you before you know it. You won't have vision of them. So keep that in mind as well. And there you go. So it's middle, it's top and bottom, not middle. We're not going to have middle. And since they have to deal with that, they're kind of defending. We could have even maybe waited to cap the boss a little bit. We're going to go ahead and run in here. And while they're clearing the boss, I think they just cleared it. Going to try and get some damage, free damage in with the bottom shrine. And so this is pretty much going to wrap up the video at this point. After this, I do want to stress it is RNG. So maybe, if you want to stick around, we'll wait for one more set of shrines to activate just to show off that. And it's going to be a 30-second warning instead of a 15-second warning. But by now, you've seen most of it. You've seen the camps, the layout of the shrines, and how the early game goes on this map. Just remember, it's always going to activate in those orders. Top and middle, followed by bottom, followed by either middle and bottom or top and bottom on the 3rd round, and then from the 4th round on it's RNG. And you have about a 2-minute window between the shrine activations. And of course, as I said, if you watch the counter here, you'll see it takes about 45 seconds for the shrine to fully fire if you're on it for the whole time. But you can, of course, contest the shrine. You can jump on it when the enemy team's on it and prevent it from firing until the fight kind of works its way out and one team has the upper hand in there. And of course, this shrine isn't going to fire as long as nobody's activating it, so we have to run all the way up here because this is obviously a custom game with AI. In an actual live setting, as we'll look at with some replays, it's going to be a little bit more dynamic. But you can see, so we're at 9. We activated just before 9:20, so we'll actually watch the counter here. And you can see at this point in the game, it's very easy for me to 1v1 the shrine. It's just not a problem at all. The only trouble is early game, holding a shrine by yourself. If you're a squishier hero, it's a little bit harder to do. But this is pretty easy. And we're just over halfway through the ammo. Just going to clear these guys. And you can see the order they activate, that the Temple Guardians activate is always the same. The big dude, these guys, then the ones on the left and the right. And then we've held it. And you can see that was just about 45 seconds for the shrine to fire all of its ammunition. Of course, we've made it through 3 rounds now, and we've gotten a good bit of damage done. The keeps are exposed, but you can see they're not down yet. I don't think the damage scales. It just is consistent throughout the match, like the cannonballs. And of course, the next round of shrines will be completely random. So we'll stick around to show off the opening for that. But we've covered all of the important bits at this point. It's definitely a fun map, and I highly recommend checking it out in a custom game once to get a feel for it, or playing some. It's hard with co-op because you can't pick the map you're playing on to get good experience there. So you really have to go into like a custom game to play on it a little bit just to see how it works for yourself.
Clever strategy.
And so that happened just after 10. It stopped firing at 10:05. So you figure another minute we're gonna get the warning, or actually about 45 seconds we'll get a warning for these last, what we're gonna consider the last set of shrines for the video. But thanks for watching, guys, up to this point. Appreciate it. I'm gonna be doing Thrall up next after this, and we've got some other videos going on. I had a little bit of audio issues with my mic, had to sort out. So hopefully this is good quality. There was a problem there. I was getting a lot of static, and that's why I couldn't get out that. And we've been on a team. We're actually getting ready to qualify, hopefully, for HPL, the second season of the Heroes Premier League. So been busy with those two things. And there you go. You can see it's a 30-second warning. And it actually looks like it is going to be a good 2 minutes. It's not like an extra 15 seconds in there like I was thinking. I noticed that one day. I don't know, maybe I miscounted. So it is, yeah, just set 2 minutes. There's no extra 15 seconds. But this was a completely random. I didn't know which shrine this was going to be, or which temple. I keep calling it shrines. I didn't know which one it was going to be, or how many. It could have been all 3, for example. All right, so we've activated it, and it's going to go to work. You can see now it's working on the tier 2s. So it starts with the middle one, and then we're going to get top, and then of course there'll still be a bottom one left up there. Oh, I get knocked off. All right, so that's going to do it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with some Thrall. We'll get some awesome horde action here. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the Nexus.